Every single time you feel disrespected, used, or taken advantage of by a friend, a client, or a romantic partner, you are not a victim of their cruelty. You are a direct victim of your own pathetic lack of boundaries. You have been infected by a weak, compliant, and fundamentally flawed ideology that tells you to be the bigger person, to turn the other cheek, to forgive and forget, and to constantly hand out second chances like they are free lottery tickets. You falsely believe that by giving someone a second chance after they have betrayed your trust, lied to your face, or stolen your precious energy, you are demonstrating moral superiority, patience, and kindness. Let me completely shatter that dangerous illusion for you right now. When you give a second chance to someone who has intentionally disrespected you, you are not teaching them to be a better person. You are teaching them the exact price of your self-respect, and you are explicitly telling them that your boundaries are entirely negotiable. Human beings, at their core, biological and psychological level, are opportunistic predators. They will continuously push and test the electric fence of your boundaries until they get shocked. If they touch the fence and there is no current, if there is absolutely no shock and no consequence, they will trample right over it, build a camp in your territory, and strip your resources bare. Look at your business and your financial life right now. You likely have nightmare clients who pay you late, who demand extra revisions for free, who text you at 2 in the morning, and who speak to you like a subordinate rather than a sovereign professional. Why do they treat you this way? They do it because you allowed it the very first time it happened. You were terrified of losing the money. You operated from a mindset of deep scarcity, so you swallowed your pride, suppressed your anger, and told them it was fine. In that exact microsecond, you lost the negotiation and their respect forever. The foundation of absolute sovereignty and massive wealth creation is not just about learning how to make money. It is about protecting your time, your focus, and your psychological energy with the ruthless, unblinking aggression of a cartel boss protecting his territory. To actually own your path and separate yourself from the herd of mediocre, easily manipulated people, you must construct what I call the architecture of iron boundaries. An iron boundary is not a polite request. It is a physical law of your personal universe. It does not require a long emotional conversation. It does not require a tearful apology. And it absolutely does not require you to explain yourself to the person violating it. When someone violates an iron boundary, the consequence is the immediate, permanent, and cold removal of your presence, your energy, and your access. You are terrified of operating this way because you are severely addicted to being liked. You suffer from the disease to please. You have been conditioned to believe that being agreeable is the only way to survive in society. You would rather sit in a room full of toxic, draining emotional vampires who secretly envy your ambition than sit alone in a room building your empire in absolute peace. This deep-seated fear of isolation is the exact leash that the world uses to control you and keep you playing a small game. Let us break down the mathematical failure of the second chance. When someone betrays you or disrespects your time, they have revealed their true character to you. Character is not a fleeting mood. Character is a hardwired, deeply ingrained operating system built over decades of habit. When you forgive them and let them back into your inner circle, you are betting your precious future energy and your mental health that their entire operating system will suddenly rewrite itself simply because you were nice to them. This is statistically absurd and highly arrogant on your part. The elite, the top 1%, the sovereign individuals who actually bend reality to their will, operate on a strict policy of zero tolerance for disrespect. They do not have the time, the patience, or the desire to rehabilitate the character flaws of the adults around them. They are not therapists, they are not saviors, and they are not martyrs. They are conquerors. Think of your boundaries as your psychological immune system. A weak immune system lets every single virus and parasite into the body because it lacks the ability to identify and destroy threats. It wants to be inclusive. As a result, the body gets sick, rots, and dies. A strong immune system identifies a foreign threat and ruthlessly, violently destroys it without a single moment of hesitation or negotiation. When you start enforcing iron boundaries, your social immune system kicks into overdrive, and the people who have been comfortably feeding off your weakness for years are going to be absolutely furious. They will call you arrogant. They will say you have changed and that you think you are better than everyone else. They will try to guilt-trip you by bringing up the past and reminding you of everything they allegedly did for you. You must look at their anger, their gossip, and their manipulation as the ultimate confirmation that your boundaries are actually working. A parasite always fights back aggressively when you try to remove it from the host. You must let them starve. This protocol applies to every single facet of your existence, not just business. If you are dating someone who constantly belittles your ambition, who creates unnecessary drama to distract you from your mission, or who disrespects your time by constantly showing up late, you do not send them a long, dramatic paragraph explaining your feelings. You pack your bags, you block their number, and you become an absolute ghost. If you have a childhood friend who only calls you when they need to borrow money, complain about their miserable life, or drag you to a bar to numb their pain, you do not offer them unsolicited advice. You cut the cord and reclaim your peace. Your attention is the most valuable currency you possess in this world, more valuable than Bitcoin, more valuable than real estate, and more valuable than gold. Why are you voluntarily spending it on terrible investments that yield nothing but stress and frustration? The ultimate position of power in any relationship, any negotiation, and any business deal is the genuine, unblinking willingness to walk away. If you cannot walk away, you are a hostage. Iron boundaries guarantee that you are never a hostage to anyone or anything. They force you to become entirely self-reliant. When you know deep in your bones that you can survive, thrive, and conquer completely on your own, you immediately stop tolerating mediocre treatment just to keep warm bodies around you. I will not lie to you. The transition period of implementing this architecture will be one of the most painful and isolating periods of your entire life. Your phone will stop ringing. Your social calendar will completely empty out. You will spend your Friday nights alone in your office, reading, strategizing, or sweating in the gym while everyone else is out partying. Embrace this terrifying silence. This is not loneliness. This is the clearing of the battlefield. You are intentionally burning away the dead wood so that a massive, unshakable forest can grow in its place. In this silence, you will finally have the mental bandwidth to focus entirely on your physical health, your financial literacy, and the violent execution of your master plan. You will no longer be exhausted by the drama of inferior people. And then, something miraculous happens, a phenomenon governed by the laws of frequency and value. As you elevate your personal frequency, as you become visibly and uncompromisingly strict in your standards, you will begin to attract a completely different caliber of human being. You will begin to attract other sovereign individuals. You will attract high-level business partners who actually respect contracts and deadlines. You will attract friends who genuinely celebrate your victories without a hint of jealousy. And you will build a circle of absolute killers who understand the exact same unwritten rules of respect, leverage, and boundaries that you do. But you cannot invite a king or a queen into your house if your house is currently infested with rats. You must execute the purge first. You have to create the vacuum. Your specific actionable directive for today, right this very second, is to ruthlessly audit your life and identify the 3 biggest boundary violators in your immediate circle. You know exactly who they are. The moment I said it, Their faces popped into your mind like a flash of lightning. It is the client who strings you along and disrespects your pricing. It is the friend who constantly drains your ambition with their chronic pessimism, or it is the partner who demands your attention when you need to be doing deep work. By midnight tonight, you are going to permanently sever the cord with all three of them. No long explanations, no arguments, no closure, and absolutely no second chances. You are going to reclaim your sovereign territory. If you lack the stomach for this, if the thought of confronting them or ghosting them makes you feel physically sick with anxiety, then you need to accept that you are choosing a life of submission. Go back to your comfortable, miserable existence of being everybody's doormat and stop pretending you want to build an empire. But if you are finally ready to command absolute respect, to protect your energy at all costs, and to build an untouchable life, enforce the iron boundary today and never look back.